make sure that we don't leave anything behind, no witnesses.
Yep.
And then maybe we probably should try to get the rest after that.
Yeah, we can stand up in front of this gloom wall thingy and just knock him off as they step out of the gloom.
Absolutely.
Okay. So you guys have a plan in motion then. That's good.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. We have the whole week to discuss this on the message thread and everything.
Yeah. And I haven't been putting pressure on. I don't. This is a problem I've had with Targus. He basically threw an entire campaign that I had set up. He he's Leroy Jenkins. Like that's how he plays. So just expect him to die. Like that's how I have to be brutally honest with you. Don't overcommit to protect Targus because it will get your whole party killed. Let him do his thing, and if he dies, he dies. I've tried to talk with him, and he will sit there and state how it should work and yada yada yada. And he's a good guy, but he wants to be Leroy Jenkins. Let him be Leroy Jenkins.
I'd rather be clagging on Targus' side so that Magnus can be behind Targus, and
Yeah,
then Bruce gang up on everything that lines up in front of the guys and help them out with his reach weapon. And if I ever get enough feats to pull this off, I also get myself to get lunge feet. Because if I'm behind these guys, the enemies won't be able to attack me, and I get some extra 5 feet of reach, so I can get attacks of opportunity against things getting up to us, and I can really spread the love around with my trips in his arms and what have you.
yeah. I mean, you maybe you guys can convince him, but he initiated a fight against a bunch of creatures. He flew into a city like there was no vision of anybody, way ahead of the group, and basically said, "Give up, I'm godly," and then picked a fight with a whole army of critters all by himself in another game, and basically threw the entire encounter for the entire party because they spent the next 7 turns trying to catch up to him while he fought on his own, and it just destroyed the entire ability for anybody to do anything. So expect that from him. You're gonna need to rein him in, and yeah, the idea of just tying him up on a leash isn't a bad one. Literally, like
Yeah,
that's
I can try tripping him if he tries to run off. I just have to stay close to him.
there's also the option of, and I really don't like having to suggest this, but that's why I spoke up and was brutally honest earlier. If he does not change behavior, this is what I do with casters. If I'm a wizard, I will fireball people after I've warned them. Don't run in immediately. I will fireball you. You will have to make reflex saves if you're a fucking idiot. And if I'm a buffer, eventually I just stop. I ignore them. I treat them as if they do not exist, and I do not factor them in my plans unless it's absolutely convenient and not out of my way at all, because they are making your life difficult and hurting the rest of the party. Treat them as if they don't exist. So if he's not going to be reasonable and work with you guys, treat him as furniture. Yeah, he is. Um, and I ended up having to leave a game where I was in with someone like him. Made a magus, and then the DM told the fighter, the tank of the group, to go a light armor barbarian with a two-handed weapon and no dex, no combat reflexes, scythe build, expecting my oracle to just constantly pump heals into him as he took damage like a punching bag. And like he took it because the DM suggested that, and I eventually had to leave because they wondered why I was so frustrated. Every round, my job was to heal those two, the magus and the fighter with no AC, as they rushed into battle ahead of my gnome who was slow. He didn't, which is fine. Like Deathless is cheesy, but it's functional in this, so it's whatever.
Yeah,
I'm gonna start having my undead.
yeah,
Yeah,
but if everything explodes for automatic damage, then we need this, or they will just grind us down simply by dying on us.
Right.
And we absolutely need this stuff just to not, be ground to dust between all those encounters.
Well, that or things like evasion and a good reflex save.
Yeah,
It's just a matter.
evasion, but,
Right. Next level, he's getting evasion, so it won't be an issue. When he levels up, he'll have evasion. So that shouldn't be that much of an issue, but that is something to keep in mind. If it is frustrating you, be honest with him. Don't be nasty. That is from my own personal experience. I reacted in the heat of the moment. Take time this week and discuss with him what he's doing to the party and how it's having a negative impact and what the consequences will be if it continues. Just shut him out. Let him do his thing. And if he doesn't agree with you, he dies and he learns his lesson. Like that might need to be done. That is something you should be aware of with him. He's gonna do what he's gonna do. And who knows? He may surprise me. He may be reasonable, but if you don't communicate directly to him and get an okay, or he accepts it, just expect him to be your wild card. So he'll be bait or whatever for you guys. Who knows? So hopefully you can talk to him and he'll be reasonable.
At least he's got a torch around his head so that I can shoot stuff that gets in on him.
Yeah, and I mean he does have the ability to heal himself. He is smart enough. Okay, I'm damaged. I'll go take care of myself. So he's not like the magus and the fighter I dealt with, where it's like, bitch, heal me, and that's just frustrating to deal with. But he is burning his resources, and he is making very bad tactical decisions. Yeah, he wanted here, and here's the thing. He's totally locked in on his Path of War stuff. I designed my classes system so I don't have to deal with that. You guys made very effective characters with my classes hack that are making his look like trash that gives buffs. He can deal damage to the grunts that any of you can hit, but he's taking more damage than he's dealing, and that's a problem. So it might not. I mean, he needs to play more as support and not Leroy Jenkins is what he needs to do. So maybe you guys can get that through to him. I don't know. Anyhow, I need to attempt sleep. So you guys have a good one.
yeah, okay. Get some rest.
Guys.
Yep. Bye.
Bye.
Microphone activated.
Later.
Microphone muted. User disconnected from your channel. User disconnected from your channel.